Targeted individuals are victims of the biggest false flag operation in history. FBI and fusion centers created after 9/11 to fuse federal and local law enforcement information to protect America from terrorists instead have been creating hundreds and thousands of false dossiers on perfectly innocent Americans, targeted individuals, to justify secretly bloating the fraud terrorist watch list for a fabricated enemy to rally resources against and keep the population frightened and accepting of a police state. Executive Order S1233 and DoD Directive S3321.1 and National Security Directive 130, the United States military and intelligence communities are forbidden by law from targeting U.S. citizens with PSYOPs within U.S. borders. A secret unconstitutional army of neighborhood watch-type civilian mercenaries, like InfraGard, were trained in covert and overt intimidation surveillance, along with covert vicious libel and slander campaigns, stalking, harassment, assault, and murder techniques utilizing high-tech and advanced weaponry difficult to detect on their innocent civilian neighbors, for what amounts to be practice and training of guerrilla army of extrajudicial enforcers, thugs, to keep people compliant as the U.S. is subverted. They are richly compensated and promised immunity by rogue fusion center officials. Executive Order 13606, all who conduct or conspire to facilitate prohibited activities using sophisticated electronic technology to harm communications equipment, communication networks, or human beings are axes of evil. Rogue state actors or sympathizers or terrorist infiltrators working against the American people and public at large. By the definition in Section 7 to include transmission and display, as well as those using information and communications technology to commit serious and grave human rights abuses in violation of the Counterfeit Access Device Fraud and Computer Abuse Act of 1984. Fusion Center officials also bully and coerce police and medical personnel and others to deny victims help or falsify records about them to their detriment, leaving them to the mercy of their jackal neighbors looking for a big payday or kill bonus. Multiple line-of-sight neighbors are simply given horrific devices to aim at the victims 24 hours a day, 7 days a week from their homes. Stalkers on call are provided car engine powered devices or devices that fit in backpacks or large bags with which to follow them to keep them exposed as much of the time as possible. This exposure to electromagnetic weapons causes serious cellular degradation that can lead to serious health damage and death, often distinguishable from natural causes to civilian coroners unfamiliar with these weapons. This system totally abrogates everyone's constitutional, civil, and human rights in favor of tyrannical rule by the elite and favoritism of those who would gladly sell out their neighbors for goods, services, and undue favor. This article comes from Melton Stewart, CIA analyst for over 28 years.